Welcome to WCOBM, World Center Broadcast of Media. This is Trina, the Vegas Diva. I am so happy today. This is the premiere of my show, Chatting It Up. Today, we're going to be discussing domestic violence. It's such a serious issue in worldwide, actually, in the United States, and it's a serious issue in our community here in Vegas. And I want to make everyone aware of this issue and see how we can combat this problem, how we can come together as a community and kind of help some of the women or men, teenagers, come forth and get help. Domestic violence is not gender-based, race-based, religious, sexual orientation-based. It can affect anyone through the ages of 18 to 49. Those are the higher statistics where domestic violence is plagued. It can happen at any time. It can happen in a marriage, a relationship, partnership, at any time. And you may not recognize the signs of domestic violence. So throughout the show, I'm going to put out some signs that maybe, or red flags, if you will, where you may not notice that that's a sign of domestic violence. That's where you need to get out of that situation and go to safety. If you feel like you are in imminent danger right now, you can call 911 to get help immediately if you are fearing for your life at this moment. And if you are in a safe place where you can call 911, please do so and get help. If you can go to a neighbor's house, a friend's house, and get away. If you have children involved, please, I urge you to call 911. At the end of the show, or throughout the show, I should say, there are going to be numbers, there are going to be websites that you can go through, or numbers that you can call if you are in a safe place to do so. If you are using a computer and maybe your abuser or attacker may be walking in, press the escape button right away, and that clears everything that you have been looking up through your history to keep you safe until you get into a safe environment to maybe look up that website again or make that phone call again once you feel that you're not in danger. People are afraid sometimes to get away from their attackers, or you may not even know the signs that you're being abused. And what we'll do, we'll get to that as soon as we can, and we'll talk about more about those signs throughout the show. But the definition of abuse, let me just get right to that. Abuse can include physical, sexual violence, economic deprivation, emotional abuse, threats and intimidation. All of these things include abuse. Jealousy, not wanting you to go anywhere, not wanting you to be with your friends or family, moving you across town or state, keeping you away from all your family and loved ones. This is a sign of domestic violence. Withholding money from you, checking your receipts, putting a time limit on when you should be home. These are examples of domestic violence. It's not that he really loves you or she really loves you, or they're like so into you. those are signs of domestic violence, and you should seek help immediately. The other thing that really bothers me is that sometimes we tend to ignore those warning signs because we're in a marriage, or we're in a long distance or long-term relationship, or we're engaged, or maybe our self-esteem has been lowered due to being in this situation for so long. That's no reason to stay in an abusive relationship. I warn everyone to please listen to your first mind, your gut, listen to the words that I'm saying to you, and please get help. Another thing is that the statistics say 1 in 7 women ages 18 and older have been the victims of severe physical violence, and that they tend to stay in those relationships. They tend to go back and get re-abused. This has to stop. They need to know that there is some place that they can go, that they can get help. There is no reason that you should stay in those relationships. The other statistics will show that 71% of the abused women are ages 35 to 49, tend to stay in those abusive relationships and go back. You don't need to go back to a person that is abusing you. And the same goes for men. I don't have those statistics because they are abused as well. Nobody deserves to be abused. There is help out there. We will continue to talk about this, I guess what you call a sensitive topic. Raise awareness and provide information where you guys can go and get the help that you need, that you desperately want, but may be afraid to take that first step. This is a serious matter. I believe it's a community issue, and I think the community should be involved in helping someone. If you know someone, please urge them to get help. We're going to talk about places where they can get help and the help that they offer. When we come back, we'll talk more about domestic violence and what you should do. Stay with me, chatting it up with Trina, the Vegas Diva, and I'll have more information on where you can get help, how you can get help, and if you have to start all over, it's okay. I can tell you where you can get this help and how you can start all over, and it's not the end of the world. It'll be okay. So stay tuned for me, and we'll be back. World Center of Broadcast Media, chatting it up with the Vegas Diva, and we will be back for this powerful conversation we're having here about domestic violence and how it impacts us. Truly touching, very informative. We'll be back.